Okay guys, welcome. I thought I'm gonna make a little video on how to create those tank trails or tank chains, whatever you want to call them, those things who are rotating. It's a very simple principle and I simply want to just share the principle. We're not gonna focus on doing it very well. It's not done here in this animation very well. I just put it on top of the little robot here. So it's a lazy animation, but it kind of works in the principle. I understood this weekend and I recorded already a tutorial for myself. I do that all the time so that I remember stuff when that I have something to look up if I forget certain things. Anyway, so let's just get to that. Let's get to it. We're gonna start with a new environment. Here we go. Oh, before I forget, this is not from me. I had this weekend I tried my own version. It didn't work out, and I found an older video from 2016 on YouTube, which I will link in the video description. So the credit goes to this guy who made this video. There is no audio comment, so he just shows everything, and it's kind of hard to follow. But he does it actually more accurate and very well, so you can do it better if you want to check that out. But I just want to share the short the principle with you. So it's basically well, what we need is simply to make it as simple as possible. We're gonna press Control. Oh, wait a second, almost forgot our mouse. Yeah, that's good. I need a magnification glass all the time so that you see a huge mouse. Okay, where were we? Don't need that actually. Good, so we're gonna need Control, nonsense, Shift A, and then curve and cycle. It's late already, it's Sunday 1 a.m. 1:20 a.m. so it's pretty late, but I thought, let's do it anyways. Good. Again, we need a curve. Let's do this again. We need a curve, cycle, and then we're gonna press R and X, and we're gonna rotate it on 90 degree on the X axis. And now we have a nice cycle, which is not hard to animate, but we want to stretch that a little bit. So I just thought it's the easiest way is to stretch it a little bit on the X axis. So you press S and then X, and then you just stretch it to the position you like the best. Again, this is a very simple structure. I bet you can make it even better. You can when it comes to curves, you can also subdivide those things here and make it a little bit more detailed, right? So you could do that. We don't do that today, and my headset goes on and off. That makes me crazy. Anyway, so you could do it, but we're not gonna do that. So yeah, so we have still the cycle, just bend a little bit, and what we're gonna do now is pressing in the object mode Shift A and get a new mesh. In this case, just a cube. I'm gonna slim him down 0.5. You don't have to do it the same way. We can just make it approximately like that. Just stretch your cube to, or maybe not like that, but maybe, what the heck am I? I see. This has to do with the magnification thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's a while ago since I made the kind of a tutorial-like video. Okay, so again, not to confuse you, we have a banded curve and we have a cube object which we basically just stretched. Very simple so far, right? I wouldn't say that's very complicated. We can Shift A and Control A, and we can apply all transforms if you want. You don't have to do that though. Okay, next step is now we're gonna do the fun stuff. So we selected the stretch cube, and now we press on modifier, and then we choose the curve modifier, and then this window appears in the modification window, and we're gonna pick the curve. Voila. So that wasn't really hard. And now we're gonna use, that's the fun part, that's the best part of this thing here. Now we're gonna add another modifier, the array modifier, and about the numbers, yeah, whatever you like. This is up to you. So I'm just gonna use 18, and you see we have now 18 duplicates of the same banded or stretched cube. We're gonna split him a little bit. You know, this one here splits the whole thing a little bit. You can experiment with different values, always experiment. But for now, I think 1.5 is okay, but it really doesn't matter. Please feel free to do whatever you like. So it doesn't follow the curve that has to, that's due to the fact, I want to say it like that, due to the fact that we have to put the array modifier on the first position, and now it's following the curve. So we want to have it all around the curve. The curve. Okay, let's do that, but just, you know, we just need more counts, more duplicates, or if you don't like that, we can also just spread this here a little bit. So I decrease the amount. The amount, this is the word. You can decrease the amount and increase the split factor or whatever this is called. So I would say we need some more. Let's use 30, and then we're gonna adjust this a little bit. You can make it really nice looking, right? But why should you when it's just an animated thing and it's just passing by? If it's not a huge thing, if you not zoom in on this object like closely, it's not really necessary. But of course, if you're like realistic stuff, then, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not something I like because I'm too impatient. I want to see stuff immediately, but there's nothing wrong with realistic stuff. Some people love doing that, and that's good. Just saying. Okay, next step is, so we did, you know, look, it looks like that. In my case, it's like the amount is 30 and I spread it like 3.9. Okay, now we can already, well, I'm not so happy with that actually. Let me just disable that. Only disabling it is still active. I'm just gonna stretch this guy here a little bit. Oops, that. And then I'm gonna enable it. Yeah, I think I like this better. Again, you don't have to do it this way. You can create your own chain. What I also would like to do is in the edit mode right now, just adjusting the, giving it some details. And in this case, it's good that it happened the wrong way. I wanted to have them on the outside. I simply just used the wrong side. So I'm just gonna select the face and press X and say dissolve vertices, and I'm gonna do it on here. So I press S, no nonsense, sorry, press I, then for insert faces, and then E for extrude if you want, and then, you know, something like that. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Okay, and it's not too complicated, so it shows us, doesn't overwhelm us. So if you wanna animate our tank tracks, I believe, right? Then we can do it already. So if we selected the curve, very important, the curve, press G and then X, and we, you know, so we push this thing around the X-axis, then it works just fine. Actually, it's pretty cool. But the problem appears as soon as you try to rotate it. You see, I mean, this is completely nonsense. So you could only animate it so far in one direction, which kind of sucks. And so I you know, stuff like this I've seen pretty often. So this is not so far so hard on YouTube today or yesterday. And but the one video which I'm gonna link for sure. That helped me with yeah, animating the whole thing, or understanding how to animate the thing, and also rotating the thing. So So let's do that. Also is a German word, and it means something like well. Let's get to it. Not all the time, just this. Anyways, so what we do first is we're gonna select our object, you know, which with the array modifier, then the curve, and we're gonna press Control P. Now you can choose what you like better. I think it's fine if you say follow object. I just like this option better. Option keep transform. It just, if I change the shape of the curve, it also affects the array modifier, but you don't, you know, experiment with those stuff. So we did press Control. So what, I'm gonna undo this quickly. I'm saying it again. Clicking the curve first. Nonsense. Apologies. So we're gonna select the object first, then Shift. Sorry. Object first, then Shift, Control. What am I talking? Selecting the object first, Shift, and then the curve. Now Control P. Here we go. And now we're gonna choose object, keep transform. I do that again. I explained why. So, and if we now move the curve, obviously our object is following, and we can rotate it, and that works, but there is no animation anymore, so that is kind of annoying. And now let's get to the animation. So we want to have, you know, this thing animated, and I checked out the video. Again, there is no audio comment, so you have to watch it very closely. And somehow I've seen it. Don't know if he explains it actually, but or if he writes that in the video, but or she. But anyways, he definitely, or she, or whatever, helped me to find a solution. So we have to animate the object, not the curve. Very important. The object has to be animated. In this case, on the x-axis. That might differ depending on which axis you have chosen in the beginning. But if you followed the steps as I did, or if you followed my steps, then it should be the x-axis. And if we change the position, you can see it's animating now. And that's what we wanted to have. If I disable it, you can see what actually happens is just, you know, do you see that actually? Yeah. So we changed the position of the object, I believe. Oh, does it really matter? Why the heck did I explain that? You see what happens. You probably can explain this better than I. Okay, so you can see if it changed the value here, it rotates. So well, let's do a little animation. So we're gonna go to frame 0. Frame 1 is probably okay. So, and we're gonna say we hover with our mouse over the location X value and press I for insert keyframe. And let's jump to keyframe 100. And now we're gonna change the position, but only slightly. I figured out that is already pretty fast, although it doesn't really matter which value we choose. I'm gonna choose, in my case, -3. You can always, you know, go do what you like, in which direction you want to have it animated. So, and if I play the animation now, you can see our object is actually animating. So that's good. We could make it, you know, longer. And let's do that also. We're gonna use a little trick. We're gonna use, I'm gonna get a new window here. Jump here into the graph editor. I'll make this bigger and this one too. So just a new window. This is the graph editor. It'll help us to create an infinity loop of this animation we just made. So if you click on this keyframe we just created, simply we have only 2 keyframes. So click on the keyframe and then hover with your mouse in this window and press the position 1 key, which zooms then in on this window. If it doesn't, then you probably did not select the object. That happens. Or if you do not find your animated keyframes, make always sure that you selected the object. And if you still cannot see that, you just you know, you probably pushed it away hover with your mouse over the window, press position 1, and you jump to where the fun is happening actually. Sometimes the stuff disappeared in my, it happened very often that this disappeared and I couldn't find it. Yeah. It made me crazy, and sometimes it was just because I forgot to select the object. Anyway, so okay, so let's do this again. Here, hovering with your mouse in the window, position 1, zooms on on where the things are going on. So language is kaput. Yeah, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna select this guy or this. I think this one here. Which one to select? It's always kind of tricky to explain for me, but in this case it's very simple. It should look like that. I don't know how to explain that. So if you have it like that, we're gonna select this guy, and now there is a little arrow here, a little tiny arrow. Let's see if I press N. Ah yeah. If you don't see the arrow, just make sure you are with the mouse in this window, hovering in this window, and press N, and then this here opens, and we have to go into modifiers, add modifier, cycle. So now we have an infinity loop cycle thing going on, but it's not really nice. It kind of what is it called, twitches a little bit or something. So now I have to also think a little bit, because I keep forgetting how this works. If you want to have a better animation, I think it makes sense to first change the repeat with an offset after the animation. So if you do that, it looks kind of like that. And now the object constantly rotates, keeps rotating in this area, guys, it's late. Yeah, you see what it does. The good thing about that, about doing it that way, is that you can still stop your animation if you don't like that. If you want to have this animated a little bit later or something, then you can just duplicate this one here. Let's just do that. Shift D for duplicating it, and if the animation goes on here, it stops exactly for this period of time, right? You can see in this period of time nothing happens, and that's a good thing. And then if it's if it's over, then it starts again. You can also change other things with the animation, but I'm not gonna go too deep into that. I just want to show you one more thing, because that might be important. So back to the 2 keyframes we had, only one direction. If you're not satisfied with the direction, you can also exchange that. You can put this guy here to 100 and this guy here to 0. Approximately, you don't have to do it that way. Approximately, and then it goes into the other direction. So that's an easy way to exchange the directions, or to change the directions. Also, if you stretch that, you see it slows down. If you bring it closer, it accelerates, but be careful. If you hit the frame, if you hit the same frequency in which what we set up here, what did we do? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, if you hit the frame rate of 24, sometimes, although it should be faster, it looks like slower. So that has to do with the frame rate you have set up. So keep that in mind. See if you can make that happen. Anyway, so you see, so that's basically what we wanted to do. If you want to do it even better, you can, this is it. That was the quick tutorial how to make those things happen. If you want to do it a little bit better, you can also, at the beginning, I'm gonna just hide that. You can create a cylinder and change the rotation, and then add with Shift A, add another curve, important curve. Go into this window here in the wireframe window, and then also rotate this guy, select both of them, and now stretch them both. to your liking, and then they are, you know, look identical. So that could help, and then you can hide this guy for a while. You could do it, but you know, it's not a perfect thing anyways, what I just showed you. And also if you want to later on, if you want to, you can just, you know, do it like that. So, oh, this is super fast actually. So if you duplicate this guy, let's just get the overview back. So this was our animation, right? Let's slow it a little bit down because that makes everybody crazy. Yeah. Okay. Now we can, you know, add something. Let's do something what the guy in the video did. That, and we can, I think it's right to select the curve first and then the object. This will be a middle. Oh no, we can even. I think we can. No, it makes sense. Okay, curve first. I apologize. Curve first, and then object, keep transform. You again. I like it. I prefer that. It's sufficient if you use object. If you don't know what the difference is, just experiment. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain right now because I might be wrong when I will explain that. But I think okay. Anyway, so I just did it like that. You can do it the same way, and if you want to have another one, and the easiest way to do it is just using another modifier. I think we can make it smaller here. This one too, come on. So the easiest way to do that is basically select the object, and then we're going to add a mirror modifier. In this case, it doesn't make much sense, although it could be funny too. What the heck is going on here? Oh, this, I didn't expect that at all. Is this just constantly... Ah, that's funny actually. Ah, see, didn't expect that. It might be good for something. I couldn't think of something right now, but it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so if we did this on the end, it looks like that. You don't want to have that, obviously. Then experiment with those different axes, right? So let's see. This one? No, this one? Oh, this is also funny. Ah, I'm an idiot, guys. Sorry. Back, I just, you know, got rid of the mirror modifier. Okay, add the mirror modifier, and then use as a mirror, as a orientation point for the mirror modifier, we say mirror object, please orientate on this cube. And then, yeah, we have this thing here, and now we have to activate that guy and disable this one in this case. Sometimes you have to experiment with those different things, but the advantage is now if you change the cube, you know, you have like a little tank already. Let's give it like, you know, that. Go. And what else? Let's make it down, right click, subdivide 10 times, go to mesh, go to transform, and go to sphere. And now just don't touch the mouse, except move the mouse to the point where this thing becomes a cycle, and then say left click, and now press X and say dissolve faces. Now we have a cycle in the little tank. Here we go. And I mean, that was damage should be here, right? So do the same thing. Let's do this again. I'm gonna insert the thing here with I insert, and you can do that. I think right click, subdivide 10, and then what else? Brain, help me. What am I doing? Yeah, transform, mesh, transform to sphere, make it a cycle, apply with left click, press X, press dissolve faces. Now you have this guy here, and E for extrude, S for scaling it down, or I, and then insert faces, and then E extrude. Here we go. Huh? Isn't that not scary? This is... that makes me crazy. Look at this guy. Yeah, I think I explained it good enough. If not, let me know if I lost you somehow and you are being new to Blender and this was overwhelming. I think, you know, I hopefully said it was a casual. Did I at the beginning? Anyway, if you still struggle with that because I explained it pretty badly, then let me know. I think I could do it a little bit better or slower. So today I just thought maybe, I mean, somebody who was checking for that, I thought might probably be familiar with Blender. But again, if not, let me know, and I'm gonna explain it very slowly. Because I think it's easy to explain. I could do it better, I think, but maybe not necessary. That's what I thought. Okay, then that's about it. So I got my tutorial, you have your tutorial, then have fun creating those guys here. Yeah, see, looks kind of cool. Cannot stop. Cannot stop. Of course I can, but I don't wanna. Hehehe. Hehehe. Oh. Yeah, also again, check out the guy's channel video. He actually he also let the thing I'm gonna show you what he is doing. Something like so we could add a curve, this one or this one doesn't matter. We're gonna, in this case, add a curve, making it bigger, and now we're gonna say, yeah, what do we do? Say we're gonna select the curve. I know it's kind of confusing. We need to select the curve which we created at the beginning curve, and now the curve needs to follow yeah, we're gonna need to go into this menu. What is this? Object contains properties. No, anyway, this one here, and then we're gonna say follow path. I hope that's right. And we say, is this the right thing to do? Probably. Okay, we say curve, show, please follow the curve. Oh boy, what did I do? Oh no, I forgot what I did. Didn't like that. Something tells me I just screwed it up. Maybe it's something like the curve. Maybe it is. Ah, of course, I'm an idiot. No. Forget about that. Sure, that was nonsense. Just let's go back. So what we have to do is we have to select our object, which is currently, you know, this is the main object. This is where we rotate our object, obviously. That's why we did this, you know. Everything is now a children. No, the curve is a children of the object, I think so. Okay, so this one here, the object we selected, the object shall follow this menu. What is that? Object contains properties. Yeah. Anyway, I think it must be here too. Let me just check this. I cannot see it right now. Sometimes I don't see stuff although it's there. Anyways, I always do it like in this way. So we're gonna use follow path, and now we're gonna say please follow the curve. And when we now say animate, that's important. Sometimes you want to animate that, so that's an endless cycle animation, but sometimes you don't want to do that. You want to do it manually. That's also fine anyways. So we did this and it kind of works, but not how it should. So we say also follow the curve, and it still doesn't work. So well, we have to that's what I do. I play around with those values here until it looks about right. That looks almost right, only that's just the wrong direction. How do we... Ah, here we go. See, that's always what I do. I always, so if you, it doesn't have to look the same as it does here, you know. If you do it like I do, then it always, you know, experiment, and you're gonna get to your goal. So our tank, this is a German Panzer, by the way, obviously, that's how they look. It's a nonsense invention anyways, to be honest, such a waste. But in Blender it's fun. So when we wanna have this a little bit slower, then we're gonna go into this menu here. Let's say this animation is too fast, right? And it's also endless. Sometimes you don't wanna do that, but in this case, it's just fun. We can slow it down here by increasing the frames. Here we go. So, well, that is now our tank. it works also with a different thing. So first of all, you can stretch this here, but be careful if you do that. You have this affects, I think, the thing here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe depending on if you transform those things. I'll let him drive like that. Yeah. Ah, now he's fast. Yeah, look at that. Look at me. Oh boy, I do like that. It's completely nonsense. Blender is so cool, and sometimes you do so awesome stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is be a good human, try it like I do, and then fail like I do, and try it again like I do, and fail. Yeah, don't take yourself too seriously, I mean, and yeah, try to be happy on something. Whatever, I talk too much nonsense, but it's late. That's, you know, first of all it's me, and then when it's late it's even bad. Good luck with that, and we see you soon. Bye bye.